Hello, welcome back. Yes, we are going to be doing some adventure building. We're going to write an adventure, we're going to build an adventure, make an adventure. That's what this is all about. For those of you who enjoy doing that, this is probably one of my favourite times of the week where I get to hang out with patrons and subscribers and make an adventure. And I have a map for you, don't worry. I've brought a map along and I've put it up on Discord. If you want to check it out there, you can. But yes, I'm going to put up a poll. Feel free to take part in that poll. I suggest grab some food, some drink. I couldn't help myself. I've already started. I started writing some stuff. I couldn't help myself. I was looking at this and I was thinking, oh, I gotta add in my 2 cents here. So I apologise if I have filled in some areas that you might have wanted to fill in. Maybe you'll come up with something better than I have, and then we'll ditch my ideas and we'll take your ideas. But yeah, grab that food and drink. Make sure you are comfortable and ready. Have your ideas ready to flow, and we'll crack into this. It should be a good time. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about tabletop role-playing games, and whether it's Dungeons and Dragons or Morkborg or Pathfinder or any other game, it really doesn't matter. This is really sort of designed ultimately to help you make an agnostic adventure that you can just fit into whatever system you're playing. I don't really want it to be set in a particular theme. So we're going to revolve around the champion's statue. Now, you might be thinking, why would we call an adventure the champion's statue if we're dealing with a villain lair, which is what we're going to do. We're going to create a villain lair today. We've done dragons, but I thought why not hide your lair, your villain lair, where heroes may have been recognised in a statue? I thought that was quite funny, actually. So that's where my head was going with this. And I drew this map using Dave's mapper. So it's not really drawn, it's sort of created artificially. And I'm going to give you a link to that so you can try it out yourself by all means. I highly recommend draw a map using Dave's mapper and then build your adventure based off that. It's getting very windy in the house, that's why there's doors slamming. So yes. Anyway, I'm going to put Dave's mapper link up here. I'm going to show you the map itself, and I will be working on a Google Doc, which of course I will share with you eventually. But right now, we just have this. Okay, so this is the normal state that we usually start with, which is we have an adventure location. We take that adventure location and we try to give it a general theme. So whose villain lair is it? Now, we've done liches, we've done mind flayers, we've done a red dragon. I really want us to try to go with something else based off the basic map. I'm not changing the map, so don't try to get me to redraw the map. That's not happening. But here, what is the theme? Is the theme and who does the hidden lair belong to? That's our first question. Once we get that established, there's a couple of other things here that we do. And that is, we're going to get you to write up. You're looking at the map, you're going to take a number, you're going to give us the number, and then you're going to give us some information about that location. Okay? I would suggest to you, as I've said many times before, 1 or 2 sentences is good. 3 or 4 is getting long. We're not trying to do read aloud text. What we're trying to do is give a game master the basic gist of what is going on here, rather than getting too carried away. It's not being designed for publication, it's been designed for you to simply run. Okay, that's what we're trying to deal with here. So how do you structure this? Go hashtag room number, and then, oh, we've already got some stuff going on here. An evil cleric. Okay, we need to have more information. Just an evil cleric. What sort of evil cleric are we talking about here, Pale Rider? Hello, Pale Rider. Fred Hoover, thank you for being here. For those of you who are wondering why we're not doing story-based adventures, you simply cannot write a story-based adventure that can be run by somebody else unless you're running a story-based adventure that's basically a railroad. Story-based adventures are essentially a railroad. They are linear, okay? Whereas I would much prefer to have a location-based adventure. You can overlay story on there, but even with a location-based adventure, you must have an overall goal, an overall adventure hook for it. It can't be just, because that would be boring, we're going to go and explore this location. That's not how you structure it. You structure it differently. We'll get to that. So the room number, and then the area features. So we're dealing with features. We're dealing with noise, furniture, odors. We're dealing with monsters. We're dealing with traps, hazards. We're going to include some treasure. We don't want to put the treasure just at the very end if we can help it. We want to sort of spread it out a little bit, and it doesn't have to just be gold. It could be just very mundane items that they might find useful. NPCs that they can interact with, puzzles. When I say puzzles, I mean simple puzzles. Okay, objects, and yeah, I think that's got the basics. That's the basics of what we're looking for. Main cleric to the evil god Moloch. Now, who is Moloch? Malign cleric to the evil god Moloch. I'm going to grab this idea here. I see that Fred Huber's already included 9. Now, 9 is essentially a large passageway. And you'll notice I've put 9 right above what looks like potentially something that might involve a pit trap. So, yes, you never know. Could be that. So let me just put in here, Moloch, main features. I'm going to share what I have already written because I've written up a couple of locations already. As I said, I couldn't help myself. This happens. I'm kind of curious as to who Moloch is. Well, I'll come back to that, I guess. I'll do some research. Milan is his name, okay. And as Milan, is it going to definitely be a guy? Castle escape tunnel that connects to the tunnel system under the statue, possibly forgotten by current castle residents, full of rats, cobwebs, and spiders. So number 2 is either a ruined tower or castle, or just a fortified tower or a castle. I think we can call it either one of those. So yeah. Let's grab your number 9. I think that's a good idea. Trapped in an unskippable ad. That's that happens. I can assure you, those of you who are wondering what's going on with the mid-range ads, I have set it to every 30 minutes. So if YouTube is not running them every 30 minutes, they're superseding my instructions. And there's nothing I can do about it. If I turn it off, they will run them anyway. So a lot of the settings that I have available to me at my end for running live streams are completely ignored. And if you have issue with that, you've got to take it up with YouTube. You've got to not take it up with me, because I don't have any control over this. Most YouTubers don't have any control over that anymore. It just doesn't work that way, unfortunately. I'm going to just call this the escape tunnel. This passage under the castle and statue. This passageway under the castle connects to the tunnel system under the statue, possibly forgotten by current castle residents, full of threats. Okay, that's good. We're good. We're sweet. Okay, so I have, as I said, written up. There are 2 locations I've pretty much completed because I couldn't help myself. I started early. I started without you guys. Okay, so a bit of a drink of water. So for those of you who want a sort of a slight breakdown of this map, so it's a bit easier for you to understand. 3 looks like a pit. Okay, number 1 is the statue, and there is a secret passageway with a stairs leading down into 9, and also further into the complex. Number 4 is a tree. I've already created the tree one actually. Number 2 is either a fortified tower or a castle of some kind. And then we have a what I can only describe as a bush, which is 5. I've done the bush already. What's the goal? Smash the statue. Again, the goal itself might actually come up later, but we do need to know whose villain lair this is that is sitting underneath this ground. Yeah, this location. So that's important. Hello, Derp. The goal is we're going to design a location for a villain, and then if you guys come up with some ideas for the goal, that's great. I can include those. Pale Rider's already done 27. 27, if you hadn't noticed, has got a secret door or secret passageway that leads to some stairs leading down deeper into the complex, and after that it's really up to you what you do with it. But there is a demonic looking statue in this location. It's a big chamber. It has 2 entry points, one leading to a balcony high above. It's quite a tall location, and one that you can access through 26, which is either probably lava, hot mud pools, or steaming water. Maybe it's something else you come up with. Okay, but there's obviously a lot of heat coming off that 26. We have area 25, which is sort of just looks like a sort of open area and passageway. 24 has got a little side place. You'll notice 24 has got a ladder, and there's a hatch that leads down into a passageway. 17 is got a secret passageway, so it looks like it's a dead end, but it's not. There's actually a secret entrance that allows you to get down into 22 and 23. 18 is some sort of bridge. I've marked it as the stone bridge. It's really up to you what you want it to be. Honestly, I don't mind. You'll notice that 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 are really kind of like ledges or sort of alcoves that lead in. So does that make sense? So you've got a little bit going on there. Okay, all right. So I want to take down your ideas very quickly. The sacrificial worship chamber, the summoning chamber. Okay, so we've got a few ideas for 17 and 27. Obviously, 27 is probably very important for this whole process. I'm going to just drop this in very quickly. So sacrificial worship chamber, the sacrifices are often thrown from the cavern above. There is a secret door leading to an escape tunnel. And yes, this is one of those times where we essentially could have an escape tunnel for our big bad if they are placed in 27, or they move to 27 from a different location. Now, let's just grab this goal. So you've given us an adventure hook. For those of you who don't know, I've uploaded two new adventures that we built on live streams up onto Patreon, okay? These are ones that we worked on before. I often give you multiple adventure goals that are revolving around the location. So the goal might be different depending on the players you're dealing with and what you want to do with it. So yes, there's always a different angle going on here. So Pale Rider, you've given us one goal, but there can be many goals. I often find it's easier to develop the adventure hooks and the goal for your adventure once you build the adventure itself. As long as you know what the theme of your location is that you're building your map around, and you know who owns or controls that location, it makes it significantly easier to do the rest. The summoning chamber, where the evil cleric is trying to summon the demonic deity Molach. Yes, absolutely. A huge statue of Molach, several acolytes, and a cleric are performing a ritual to sacrifice 50 children. You've been very specific. You're obviously trying to make sure that there's an adult theme to this, right? The goal. Let's take your adventure hook. We could be sacrificing anybody. It doesn't necessarily need to be children. I have added it, by the way, if you were wondering. I did add it. You want to get them involved here? Okay. The character... no, hang on. The player characters need to find out why the children are disappearing from the surrounding villages. This is very Temple of Doom. I just realised what you'd done. This is very much Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, isn't it? Clever, pale rider. Well done. I'm impressed. You pick up a trope from something else. This is what we do here. Okay, right. Now that I've got that, let me drop in my suggestions. I have done Area 4 and Area 5. Area 4 is... oh, hang on. I need to rewrite that a little bit. So I'll do Area 5 instead because I think that's mostly complete. I couldn't help myself. For those of you who are aware, I am Christian. I am not trying to take the piss out of everything, okay? So when you see this, do not get upset, okay? It is me just taking and utilizing something from somewhere else. And here, I will put a hashtag beside it so you can see what my number is. So this is the singing bush. I think, oh, hang on. Can I, oh, I need to trim it down a little bit. Singing bush. Is that going to work? No, I need to trim it more. Still not enough. That's better. Okay, I'm done. There we go. So the singing bush. This is area 5, the bush behind number 2. This multicolored shrub sings a range of rock and roll music. Talking to the animated bush can easily determine there is a secret entrance to next to the bush behind the ruined tower. Okay, for those of you who are wondering. Yeah, it was that. I was going to write the burning bush, but then I decided to make it the singing bush. It's very Monty Python, I'm aware. If you don't like it, I understand. Okay, so you got 25 here. Well, what's 25? 25 is passageway of sacrificial preparation. Yes, that seems reasonable. Let's put that in there. And that's 25. I believe that's 25. Did I put 25? I thought so. Yes, you did put 25. So I'll just make sure I put it in the right place. Okay. Let's go here. Just call it sacrificial chamber. And let's do that. Let's go here. For those of you who are wondering why we do it this way, and why am I not showing you the document as I go, it's because it would color what you were trying to do yourself, and I will give you an update as to what locations we've done. I'm very much about you being the instrument for creating your own adventures rather than buying somebody else's. So I really want you to do that more. So for those of you who know what Dungeon 23 was, heck, you could consider this an extension of Dungeon 24. Why not? Yep. I'm going to show you the document that I'm working on, but I'm not going to do it just yet. We'll just let's get some stuff down first. That means you've got to kind of work on a few different things first. Okay, a passage used to prepare victims for sacrifice. Okay. The victims are thrown from a high balcony leading to area 27. I believe that is right. Yes, that looks spot on. And we've got... Okay. If we need to do more with that that location, we can. I see you guys have done 26 pretty well. I'll just reiterate that I've already got number 4. The tree, I've already figured out what to do with the tree. Okay. Okay, so sauna. So we've got here caverns floor bubbling hot. So let's take this. I wonder if I can include both Derp's idea and Pale Rider's idea as into one. I do this quite often. It may not be obvious, but I do. I include them together and see if I can make them sort of work. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes it's not. Hot gases. Not American English, just going to go with gases from the fissure. Below, heat, water to steam. The cultists purify themselves here before rituals. Interesting. Okay, and let's take what Pale Rider has written down, and I'll share my contribution, which is the tree, in a second. So here we go. Let's drop this in. Caverns floor is bubbling. Okay, so hot mud. you've put here children-sized undead skeletons armed with onyx daggers lurk underneath the mud. There's also wet rocks jutting out of the mud, creating a pathway across. Okay. Yes, I think we can include most of this. You've got hot mud, and the other's got like this is a sauna. And I think what we'll do is we'll kind of use a portion of this together. Alright, and we'll eliminate this bit here that I've written in. We'll get rid of that. Okay, hot gases from the fissures below, heat water. Hot gases. I think what we'll do is let's do here. Let's go hot lava from the fissures below. Lava from the fissures below, heat, mud and water, mud and water into steam. Because you can get a lot of steam off a mud pool, whether you realize it or not. The cultists purify themselves here before rituals. I think what we're going to here, we're going to take out this little bit here, since we've kind of got heated bubbling. I think that's a good descriptive word. We can use that. And then we're going to take the children thing. Children-sized undead skeletons armed with onyxes lurk just under the mud and water. I think that is where we're going to, yeah. We're going to put that at the end of our section to make it work a little bit better. There are wet rocks jutting out of the mud and water pools, creating a pathway across. That's just about got all of that done quite nicely. Thank you very much. So 26 is a locked in. Well done. Okay, so now I need to share. Oh gosh, 26 runs down to mix with the hot mud, and acolytes prepare themselves by smearing blood over their bodies. Wow, got dark real fast, didn't it? Pale Rider. Cool blimey, did you take it for another? Should have guessed. Here we go. Let's just do that. I'll make a note of that. Okay, let me see if I can finish off 4. And give you sort of a rundown of what that's going to look like. Okay, so I've decided to call number 4, which is a tree, the never-ending apple tree. I was going to call it the fruit tree, but I'll just call it the apple tree. This magical fruit tree never runs out of apples. Every 24 hours, a character or creature can eat 1 apple to restore a small amount of health. Eating more than 1 apple every day has no additional effect. Okay, I better make sure I write that in. Otherwise, we know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. So let's just go here, copy, and I will drop this into the chat so you can see it. And let's see if it'll work. It's going to be way too long, so I'm going to need to go. This is number 4. I will exclude a few bits. I was going to put a hashtag there, but it's not going to work. I've got there, apple tree. Never ending, never ending. We need to take out some of it. Oh, okay. I'll just take out that little bit there. Okay, I'll just take out the last sentence that I included. So you've only got that bit there. There we go. So this was my contribution to Area 4. I'm going to have a drink of water. And then I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about villain lairs as you guys are coming up with more ideas. So some ideas that when I was looking through this map and sort of penciling away what could be here, I marked 3 as the pit. What you want to have there as the pit, it's like a depression in the ground at the top. I included as I said, 18 I've marked down as the stone bridge, but it could be any kind of bridge. I'm going to get rid of the hat. The hat's not helping me. And then the rest of the locations I haven't really done very much else with. I just didn't get a chance to do very much else. But that's all right. We'll get there eventually. Okay. So. Oh, 3. You got 3 marked out. An excavation. Let's have a look and see what you've got here. I'm just going to expand this a little bit and drop it in so I can actually read it. Number 3. Okay. I think what we're going to call this is the excavation pit. Okay. So you've got here, local prospectors believed an ancient complex believed an ancient complex to be buried under the ground near the statue. Local prospectors believed that an ancient complex is buried under the ground near the statue. They started digging at 3 and eventually... Okay. The prospectors, the explorers started digging a pit and eventually gave up. And that's as simple as it needs to be. Nice, well done, very good. All right, let's see what else can we do here. 18, the narrow bridge, a narrow guano-covered stone bridge, 20 giant bats along the, oh, okay, all right. So we're setting them up for the big fall if the bats are disrupted. I see where you're going with this. I know your tricks. Okay, all right, that's fine. You can do that. Let's add that in. Okay. And I think we have what we need here. We're just going to call it a stone bridge. A narrow guano-covered stone bridge. Stretches. Stretches. Now let's give it a distance. What's a reasonable distance that's scary? Something that kind of means you can't get across easily without using the bridge. They might have to take a different route. They might not want this route. They might have to link themselves up with something. Let's go with 100 feet long. 100 feet long makes it still doable. Stretches 100 feet across a let's give this thing some depth. I would say we're dealing with roughly 120 feet down, which is quite a bit, across a 120 foot deep chasm. Okay. So we want 20 vampire bats. 20 giant bats. 20. Not 20. Oh, that didn't work out very well. Here we go. Let's try it again. 20 giant bats. Bats. Sleeping from the stalagmites. I think is it stalagmites that are the ones on the ceiling? Stalagmites. On the roof of the cavern. I think that's what we want to do. I think there's another word we need to include in here. A narrow slippery slippery guano-covered stone bridge stretches 100 feet across a 120 foot deep chasm. Okay, I think we got 18 locked down. You want 150 feet. Is that the bridge across, or do you want the 150 feet down? Let me know. Are we dealing with 150 feet across the bridge, or are we dealing with 150 feet down I'm all for let's drop them down a fair distance. I don't have a problem. I think I see what you're saying. I took the distance from falling in the middle down to 8 and to 19, but you could potentially keep falling and wind up all the way down in 20, which is like 150 feet. I think I understand what you're dealing with there. Okay, that makes sense. I get it. 150 feet. This is just rough guesstimation stuff, people. We're not getting too carried away. It's probably beyond the scope of what we're doing today, but I think that 18 bridge would be a great place for a skill challenge. Absolutely, and the day will come, Derp, when you will say it is both. You reckon both 150, 150? I say so. Falling down, you wind up in 18. In 19. Okay, I think what I'll do is I'll do it. So yes, I agree, Derp, and we will do a rope bridge or some sort of bridge crossing as a skill challenge. The problem with a skill challenge like that, it is hard to come up with enough different things going on to incorporate to make it interesting enough. Now, if you're taking the rope bridge in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, there's a lot going on. You've got people coming in from either side. That's certainly part of it. You've got crocodiles underneath. So you've got a lot of threats around you, but there's not a lot of things additionally occurring. Having some prisoners would certainly elevate the issue, but let's get real. What are people going to do? They're just going to cut the bridge if it's a rope bridge. If it is a stone bridge, they're going to do the Gandalf, So, all right. Okay, so let me just tidy this up a little bit. I think 18 is when I'm tidying up. Feet. Okay, 150 feet across. Falling off the stone bridge. Results in characters or creatures landing in area 19. We won't have you roll all the way down into 20. I mean, we could, but I mean, yeah, that might be a bit much. So we'll leave that one alone. Okay. I can think of plenty of things. Bats biting, giant bat wings making... I see. Stalagmites flying, bridge deterioration. Yep. Hello. How are you doing, Asa? Love these streams. Keep it up. Asa, I'm not planning to go anywhere. Look, the reality is that these live streams probably do better than other live streams that I run on my channel. But not only that, they are like my opportunity to make adventures with the community, and they are a ball. I have so much fun doing this. This feels a lot less like work. There's a lot of prep. That's all the work side of things. But the actual live stream itself is not the work. The tidy up and clean up of what we put together, that's work. But the actual process and the live streams is a lot of fun. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Both. I've got plenty of things. Yes. Wild enemies, slick, no handrails. Fair enough. Okay, all right. You've made your point. We can add a lot of different things to a bridge. Okay. We'll do a skill challenge around a bridge. Just remind me that that's what we have to do. That's the next skill challenge we make. Is that one? Okay. Just not today. I need a lozenge. Now, what else do we want to include in here? So nobody's come up with anything particularly interesting for number 2, which is the tower or castle at the top there. And that's a very sort of distinctive thing. We are preparing adventures for Fred's campaign. It's very true. I would definitely run a lot of these. But the reality is the reality is that I don't dungeon master that much. I play more than I dungeon master. There are 6 dungeon masters or game masters in my group. So the roll round time is quite long. It takes a long time to roll round. So I do a lot of one shots during the year, although that one will change. In about 4 months, I'll probably be running an adventure, and we'll probably go from level 1 to 20, which is pretty standard for me. Level 1 to 15, level 1 to 20, something like that. Dear. Let's have a look. What else can we do here? So let's mark down a couple of different things that need to sort of happen. I really do encourage people, put your own ideas in here, by all means. If you come up with something that's interesting, plop it in, okay, into the chat, and I'll massage it a little bit and kind of make it work. Okay, so now back to villain lairs, since you may be running out of ideas. So we were talking about villain lairs, and we're doing a villain lair that sort of includes potentially a fortified tower or castle and an underground complex as well. Quite often, volcanic mountains, hazardous terrain that is hidden. You know, we've got kind of like a volcanic area down the bottom of this one. Subterranean complexes and caves, which is what we're kind of dealing with here. You can have aquatic cities and complexes, floating cities, space stations that fly, sailing ships, submarines, flying fortresses, mobile cities, castles on rolling legs, things like that. I've kind of talked about that before. So what I decided when I was doing this is that we would include kind of two aspects to that. One, hiding your villain lair next to something that has significance to somebody else, that actually looks like it's kind of like hiding your villain lair out in the open, like, and hiding it where, you know, usually the individuals that are trying to stop you would normally have something. Does that make sense? That's why I decided that the champion statue or the hero statue was a great place to have sort of the beginning of that. The cultists will need some place to sleep and prepare food. Exactly. There's definitely an aspect to that needs to be considered. Next, what else is here? What else do I need to mention? Oh no, there's the wrong place. Back to here. Okay. So there are key things that we want to try to do here. We definitely want it, if it's a place where you're going to be living, your villain lair is like a home in some way. There's going to be some things you do, but we want to try to make the villain lair feel menacing, large, enormous. We've got a lot of open spaces, even colossal in scale. Giving it a luxurious aspect to it might not work quite so much for some of these locations unless they're like a square. You know, the cave areas obviously aren't going to be luxurious, but when there's a sort of a man-made room or location, it's more squarish, then yes, we could certainly do something like that, make it a bit more luxurious and extravagant, because it indicate that this evil cleric has got a lot of resources behind them. But you still need to make it functional, so we do need to have some functional aspects. So it's somewhere along this, we need to decide where unless of course your villain lair is not where you live, it's just where you work. I don't know, you decide. And also the complexity of a lair shows the villain's workings in their mind, how that sort of, like, this is kind of like Strahd's castle, Ravenlough's castle is sort of a depiction of how Strahd's mind works, so you can do the same thing with this location. This might even be the secondary lair, it might not even be the first lair. So you'll notice that there is a section that leads down further. Now that could be an escape route, but that might lead into the second lair if we wanted to. We've got a few secret locations, so there's going to be some secrets we need to include in here. We need to have something that's important. And then what else is there that's probably really important that we need to include in here that will help make things a little bit more interesting. Often villains have like really sick entertainment chambers, like a chamber or a room where they've set up something that's just diabolical, just for their personal entertainment. And a lair will often have powerful magic or advanced technology somewhere as well to indicate that they are a major threat. So yes, we want to include definitely a location that's magical or a item in a room that's incredibly powerful that we don't want the villain to have. And yes, I think that's the gist of it in terms of that sort of stuff. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna re-grab the prompt, and we'll see how we go. Again, throw in your ideas. Put a number down, pick a location, come up with an idea, put it in. You never know. You never know what people will like. I've always found this to be the case when I run adventures. There's always something a little bit, yeah. Now, who's the local hero? We want to have. Now we can't go. Let's not. The plaque tells the legend. Defaced. Yes, I was hoping somebody would come up with something around the statue itself, and you have, which is great, because that's what we need. We need something around the statue itself. And the name of a champion. Yes, 15 could be. Let's have a look here. 15 could be. You could use one of the, the less sort of cave-like locations, and you could use one of the, even 23 might be, a doable location as a common area, if you wanted. You might have, remember, if you're dealing with the cultists having places that they would live, Area 7, that room 7, room 6, area or room 23, room 24, all probably would be those sorts of types of places. The other locations are probably more like, sort of cave areas. See what I mean? Okay, let's see. 19, you've marked 19 down. Where's 19? An observatory ledge. Okay, interesting. Let's take 19 and mark that down. Observatory ledge. Now, area 19 has got a secret door as well. Okay, that secret door leads, if you notice, it leads into area 21 down some stairs. So we will need to make a point of sort of highlighting that. And okay, ledge. A cultist is usually posted here to keep an eye on the bridge. Also. Yeah. Yes. Bat, guano, and fallen victims' positions can be gathered here. Gathered here in the pile of decaying bones and equipment. Bones. Okay, so bones. Let's go here and put in a bit more. Fallen victims. Position can be gathered here. Here in the pile of decaying bones. Let's add in a few. Weapons, armor, and equipment. So we've got a nice big huge pile of possessions from somebody else who's gone over the side. Cool. And we are here. Oh, is Conan under public domain now? I'm kind of curious. Not yet. So we're not going to be using the character name Conan. We're going to use something else. Okay. So I will. I just checking to make sure I don't get myself into trouble. So I do have intentions to try to turn these into full-blown adventures at some point. For those of you who are wondering. But I don't know that all of them will wind up that way, and I don't know when. I have no idea. The marble statue is of the legendary hero. Let's just make it Hercules, because Hercules, who is reported to have destroyed the Monarch cult centuries ago. Defaced. Okay, that's good. We need to include our secret door area, so we'll do that. I'm going to write that up myself, since it looks like that's what is going to have to happen. I was trying to see if you guys would do it, but nobody seems to be terribly interested, so that's fine. I thought that would be the first thing that people would do. It is not the case. Okay. Hi, Shy X, how are you? 15 is a common room. I might move the common room to 23. I think that might work better. Move to the phone. Can't read the map numbers. Fair enough. I saved the map from Discord on my phone as well. Conan with a K. Yeah, but let's just go with Hercules. That'll do. Let's just leave it there. We can make up the name of a completely new hero. It doesn't have to be one that pre-exists. Remember, it could be somebody. Why not just make up the name of a completely unheard of hero? That would be quite fun. 15. Come back to the secret door. 15. Let me do this. It's called the common room. The cultists sleep, cook, and eat in this. Now, it's quite a high ceiling, isn't it? Oh, roughly there. So it's probably, pardon me, say 40 feet high. 40 foot high. Square chamber. Okay. I think that's got it. Cool. Lovely. 20. Pit of the Dead. The carnivorous pit is infested with a nest of ghouls that the cultists occasionally feed with children's dead carcasses. You really are working that in, aren't you? I can see you really want to you want to talk about sacrificing children and dead children as much as possible. Well done, Pale Rider. Let's take it. Let's go here. How are we doing for time? Well, we're about halfway through. So I need to sort of give you an update as to what we've done, what we haven't done. We need some places for stuff. Places for stuff. 20. Okay. Pit of dead. Pit of death. I really think that. I think it's going to just be called the pit of death. The cavernous pit, pit, as in pit, the pit of death. The cavernous pit is infested with a nest of ghouls that the cultists occasionally feed with the dead carcasses. Okay, all right. There we go. It's in. The pit of death, full of ghouls. Dun dun dun. With knowledge of the tavern. I'm a little lost. Black Lagoon. Where are you going to put a Black Lagoon? I don't know that we have a lagoon area here right now. Cavern. You want a... Oh, Kevin. Oh, Tavern. Kevin. All right, I see what you're doing. All right, let me give you a quick update as to what we have here. Gnashing teeth. Gnashing teeth. Okay. Let's give you an update as to what this looks like so you can see. And then I will update you as to what areas are still left to do. And I think I'm just about ready to share the document. Yes, we are. Should be ready to go. Let's just switch over very quickly so you can see. So this is what we have. Okay, this is the document. We have one adventure hook. I will probably put in another 3 or 4 later on. We'll deal with wandering monsters later because we need to sort of get the ecology of our location figured out. We have our champion statue is Area 1. Area 2 is a ruined tower or castle of some kind. Nobody's done anything with that yet. We haven't got anything for that one. That's Area 2. 3 is the excavated pit, where prospectors were looking for an ancient complex, never obviously found it. The never-ending apple tree, which is 4. 5 is the singing bush. We haven't done Area 6, 7, or 8. Number 9 is the escape tunnel. Okay, for those of you who are wondering. This just leads or connects the castle tunnel system to the statue itself. Area 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 haven't been done. 15 is the common room, which I think actually it should be moved. I actually think 15 should go somewhere else now that I think about it. 15, I really think 15 should be 23. I think that should be where it should live. So I'm going to actually just take this little bit here and go cut, and I'll put it into 23. I think 23 is going to make a better location for something like that. So let's put that there. Okay, so 23. So 15 hasn't been done either. Okay, it's still a cavernous area. A lot of cave areas. 18 is the stone bridge. We've covered that. 19 is the observatory ledge, where the cultists keep an eye on things. 20 is the pit of death, where we have some ghouls hanging out. 21 and 22 haven't been done. 23 is now the common room. 24 hasn't been done. 25 is the sacrificial chamber. We're going to get to throw people off the side. 26 is the mud pools. 27 is the demon shrine, which I haven't actually completed. There is a little bit of work to be done, and there's some notes down there as well. So that's where we are currently. So I'm going to do an update very quickly, if I can, on YouTube so that you can see it. Hopefully that's going to work, and then we'll continue on. So let me just do this. Copy. Bam, bam, bam. Paste. Let's do that. There we go. Next. Let's update our rooms. Hashtag rooms. Oh, areas still finished. Hashtag areas. Areas still to finish. And let me give you the numbers right now so that you can actually see them. So area. Area 2. We haven't done area 2. And then after area 2 is 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. And then after 6, 7, and 8, we have 10 through to 17, which is a lot. I know this is a big location, by the way. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, there's a lot of locations. I was trying to make this map as small as possible, and it just didn't work. Normally, I find that we get through about 20 locations, areas that we can put together in a 2-hour live stream, and after that, it's a bit difficult. 21, 22. 21, 22, and then the last one. Yeah, there's a lot. Yes, so those area 20. So you'll see that area 10 has a hanging rope in area 11. There's a hanging rope or vine in area 12. There is a rope or vine hanging from area 13 past 14 and 15. Okay, so those are either vines or ropes. By all means, mark them down as such. Think of it that way. Yeah, there's a lot of ropes going from level area 11 to 15, and then the last one that we haven't done is area 24. 24. Okay. If you need to ask questions about the map, by all means do so. Okay, right. Next thing. Let's keep going as I work my way through this. Next, I did a video on villain lairs, and I feel like that would go under features. If we're going to include a villain lair action or a villain lair, we don't actually have a lot of traps. If you might have noticed, there's actually very few traps in here. And I'm very much up for the idea of including at least one villain lair action or something that can go on in here, by all means. Even regional effects might be fun. Do you know what I mean? There is sort of obviously some volcanic activity or seismic activity or geothermic activity taking place because of area 26, I believe. Yes, that's right, 26. So we could probably build that in some way if we wanted to. We definitely need to think very hard about the secret door that leads out of 27. I mean, is that an escape route or does that lead to somewhere else? I actually am fine with it just being an escape route. It's nice to have escape routes for your main villain. If they don't have one, they are a really sucky villain, because you usually should have something like that, right? So by all means, put those in. Even a panic room. You can include locations that have doors that can be sealed off. Could be just a panic room. And maybe that's just for the cultists and not the main villain. Alarm systems. We haven't included any alarm systems. That sort of revolves around traps as well, but alarm systems are a nice way to go. So what sort of alarm systems or traps can you include? Because we haven't done anything like that yet. Well, first off, you can have chimes, like a string line with chimes, broken glass. Laser beams probably won't work for this one. Pressure plates, bells connected, a siren, creature lookouts. Creatures can actually operate as a lookout. You can also include things like when it comes to, remember, traps do not have to kill you. They can capture you, kill you, maim you, injure you, scar you, or just scare you off. Like that could be as simple as that. So what types of traps could you include? Well, a false floor pit might be very important. Area 9 sort of suggests that there is one. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in a second. Rock slides, spear gauntlets, magical, crossbow turrets, Doom spores or plants or fungus, pendulum scythes, whirling blades, poisonous dart walls, glyphs of warding, a thorn briar, probably won't apply to a cave like this. Flame jets though, caustic geysers might be fun. Electric floors, spectral tentacles, collapsing roofs, we could definitely apply that. A falling net, a collapsing boulder or sphere of some kind, cave-ins. You know, there's not really a lot of place to include a water tank, water trap, so probably not. Poisonous needles, quicksand slides, curses, like just full-on curses. Teleportation is also a trap, right? You can teleport somebody from one location to another location that they don't want to be in. Crushing walls and ceilings, things like this. Okay, we'll see how you guys come up with this. I am going to go back to, I believe it's 9 to make sure I get the 9. It's definitely got a pitfall that drops you down into area 8. You can go down the easier way, but you could also fall, and that's quite a deep long fall. Then there's some stairs, so you're going to fall, and then there's some stairs leading down into 8. So let's make sure I include that as well. Okay, 9. So 9 is the escape tunnel. This pitchway under the connection there, possibly forgotten. Yes, full of rats, spiders, and cobwebs. We've got some threats. A trap door acts as a pit, let's put here floor hatch, a hidden a hidden floor hatch acts as a pit trap if stood on by characters and creatures that drops them. Now let's get our distance right. I'm thinking 80 feet is probably maybe 100 feet drop. It's quite a big, I mean, if you think in terms of we've got 150 feet for our 18, our bridge, I think we're really dealing with about 100 feet there. So that's probably a 100-foot drop. Okay. A hidden floor hatch acts as a pit trap if stood on by characters and creatures that drops them 100 feet down to the stairs. Then stairs, come on Fred, stairs, an area, I believe it's 8, correct? Area 8, yes, there we go, cool, well done, nice. Asa, you could block out some of them, making them impenetrable, say 11 and 14 are just full of bones and nothing else. Maybe writings on the walls, clues. So I'm going to take your idea, Asa. I don't want to just block out and say, okay, that's all that's there, because it's nice. Each location has something else there. There might be something living there, because it's certainly an easy way to get areas covered and completed for sure. I totally agree. And if you're doing this and you're trying to do this fast, then that would make a lot of sense. But what we want to try to do is for every location we have, there's something else kind of working. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, let's boulder rigged to fall and roll down the stairs. Okay, so which one are we dealing with here? A boulder rigged to fall down some stairs. Are we dealing with area 10? That would literally have a boulder roll all the way down 10, then into 11, and then it's going to fall through 12, 13, 14, 15, and then roll down the stairs into this sort of pit. You'd be able to get to 16 at least, I guess. So that's, maybe that's going to be area 10 that you put it there. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. You tell me. It'll let's go here. I am just dropping your ideas in, people, and seeing what will stick. Okay, all right, let's do that. Two could be an outpost with some lodgings or whatever used to be. A thorough search, you could find some useful items such as keys, weapons, potions. Okay, all right, so you're starting to think about that area there. That's fine. We will take this. I do a lot of this stuff. You'd be amazed just how much time I spend after we do these live streams just tidying things up. It's quite a bit. But anyway. Regional effect. The hand of Molarch appears and slaps somebody or makes obscene gestures. Oh, come on. Sounds loudly. I hunger, bring more sacrifices. Why not? That I can work with. The slappy one, I don't know about the slappy one. Let's take this other one here. This is our regional effect. We can put this into under features, main features. A regional effect. Has the voice of Molarch sound loudly. I hunger for more sacrifices. Why not? This doesn't do any damage, but it's still a cool idea. So that's why I'm putting it in. For those of you who are wondering, like, why would you bother? The effect has the voice of Molarch sounding loudly. I think that's got it. Okay, cool. Done. In. So back to where we were at. 6 holding cells. Yes, they could be holding cells. 6 could be holding cells for sure. Let's grab this one. And 6 is holding cells. And of course the room's door should be locked. Absolutely. Okay, holding cells. The room's door is locked. It contains an NPC, a non-player character. A character called Jared, a local. Contains a character called Jared, a local sheriff who got too close to figuring out the truth of this villain. Jared has information about the location and the villain. Yes. Yes. Perfect. This is the information giver. This is what we want. We want these sorts of things in an adventure. Somebody to help make it a little bit easier to get things done. Nice. Well done. Nice one, Pale Rider. Okay. 11 to 15 villains. These areas are occupied by Goblin clan under the control of the cleric. Could be. Could be. Let's drop that into there. Paste. I'm very much aware that this is a much larger location than I've been putting forward, because usually 20 locations. So, I expect there'll be 7 locations we won't get sorted out. Okay, all right. Let's throw in some new ideas to help work out the rest of this. And I think I'm just going to make sure, yes, most of this has been, yeah, okay, let's just drop this in again. As I said, just throw your ideas out there. I will drop them into the document and we'll go from there, okay? All right. So right now, we currently have Area 24 still not done, 22, 21 still not done, Area 17 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Not done, but could well be goblin sort of grottos, or, you know, where they currently live, their clan. Area 8 and 7 are not done. I believe that's right. 8 and 7. 8 and 7. Yep, that's correct. I would suggest that we deal with 8 and 7 and 24 if we can. The other ones are caves. Look, when you have a cave location in a lair, you can include an enormous amount of like creatures and animals and beasts that would live in a cave-like location. Okay, so you're gonna focus on that sort of stuff. It's much easier to fill those out. Really much easier. I would say area 17 needs a little bit of work. There's a secret door there for sure. So let's go with 17. Yes, 17. Secret door leading to area 20, 22 and 23. 3 by way of a long ladder. Long wooden ladder. It's probably not going to be a long wooden ladder. Well, it could be a long wooden ladder. A long wooden ladder is going to be entertaining to go down for sure. So let's just include that there. Nope. Do that. And we still don't know exactly what 17 is, but there is a secret door there. Okay. What do you got here? A golem or elemental in area 10 and 15. Yes, we could include a golem. What's the best type of golem or elemental that we could include there? I'm going to suggest to you that a poo golem would be entertaining. Like we could have, I believe one of you tried to include a poo golem or a feces golem not so long ago. Do you know what I mean? So we could definitely do that. Let's go here. Paste that. And I'm just grabbing your ideas. Okay. Rock trap. Okay, so that's okay. 17. Let's see if we can build this out a little bit. 7 is going to be traditional storage and common spaces for prisoners' guards, holding cells. We've got a holding cell already, but traditional storage, we can put traditional storage there. That would be fine. We could include that. That makes a lot of sense. Flesh golem, a guano golem. I believe somebody was trying to have a guano golem, and I'm all for us having a guano golem somewhere. I almost feel like Area 15 would make a perfect location for guano golem to be living. You would have just a pile of shit and bones and so forth or whatever, but just a big pile of shit, and then it comes to life. Would be fun. Let's take 17. Looks full, striking a metal bar on the way down, igniting the rocks before the fall of the party. Okay. Okay, all right. So I'm not quite sure what we're doing there with 17. So I will just transfer that over. Paste. And next. 7. Storage chamber. think 7 can be a storage chamber for sure. That's fine. Let's go here. Storage chamber 7. Storage room. What do we want to put in our storage room? That's the question. So we've established it's a storage room, but what else is it? What is actually in the storage room? So 7 is now the storage room. Flesh column. A room full of undead dogs that breathe. Assortment of breath weapons. Where are we going to stick that? I feel like that's there are so many places. Sure. Here we go. Drop that in. Okay. We'll take our guano golem and we will put it into area 15, right at the very bottom of this section here. Because that's where I feel a lot of it would fall. It would fall into that sort of flat area at the end of that rope. Yeah. Poo pile. I'm going to call 15 the poo pile. A large mound of bat guano. Bat guano. Large pile of stinking bat guano has fallen from the caves above onto the floor. A guano. Are we going guano golem? We go. Oh, no, golem is fine. A guano golem has been created by where are we going? Milan. By Milan. To guard this location. Okay, all right, there we go. We've included your guano golem. You got to go, Shy X. No problems. Thanks for being here. 17 was the cave near the top would be filled with the trap rocks, and there would be a metal something. Oh, I see. I understand now. That makes sense because there's a big huge space that's further up there. That actually makes a little bit more sense. So I just need to figure out how to structure that as well. Okay, all right, let's paste this. Cut 17. Rock trap. So there is a ledge. There's a ledge leading into a deep cavern. That is, now we'll get the depth right. Depth. The drop down roughly, I would say, looking at this, I think that's probably about 40 feet. No, maybe 40 feet, 50, more like 50 feet, 50, 60 feet, 50 feet, 50 feet. That is 50 feet. There is a ledge leading to a deep cavern that is 50 feet. 50 feet. Bottom, 50 feet to the bottom. Alright, so let's try. Okay, so I'm trying to sort of dissect 17 a little bit here. It's taking me a little bit of time because okay, there is a ledge leading to a deep cavern that is 50 feet to the bottom. A pressure plate, I guess. Plate. The bottom of the cavern of the cave. Triggers. Okay, triggers the what? Triggers the falling rock trap. Triggering the falling trap. Okay, full stop. There's a rather a lot here. I'm just trying to figure out how to structure it so that it makes more sense, and it's a little bit difficult right now. A large oil-covered flint rocks, full striker metal bar. That seems it's not going to work. So I've got to figure out how to do this, don't I? Next, no. I'm having a bit of a struggle, Pale Rider, to reword it so that it makes sense and it's easy to sort of describe to somebody. A large oil-covered flint rock. A large oil-covered flint rock. Sheesh. Falls. Striking a metal bar on the way down, igniting the rocks before falling on the characters or party. Okay, I think I've got it. Took me a little while. What you're trying to do is you're trying to have flaming rocks fall on them. which is pretty horrible. But I think I've got it sorted out now. It took a little while. That was a bit tricky. But I got it. It's not actually a trap. Well, the way he set it up, it is a trap. So, yeah, I think it is a trap. I think we can definitely say it's a trap. Took me ages to figure out how to word it, though. Okay, so we're done with 17. We've got 17 nailed down. Sheesh. Okay, right, next. 2. Mausoleum. You want to call it a mausoleum, eh? Okay. Interesting. Okay, so 21. Where's 21? 21 is a small cavern off to the side there. All right, 21. The well room. The room is a replenishing pool of water that is used as a makeshift well. Okay. All right. Let's do that. The well room. Bom, bom, bom. Paste. So the cave has a, pardon me, pool of water that is used as a makeshift well. Yes, fine, that's done. We got that in. Okay, poorly ventilated cavern and tunnel system has so much methane it could explode at any time. Okay, so this is... Remember, we want them to be able to explore. We're not trying to lead them into a place where their death is assured. Do you know what I mean? If all we do is create an adventure where death is... it's only a matter of time, and there's no other outcome, it's not a very good adventure. Okay. So I'm going to have to highlight that because I just don't know that I think that's going to work. Having the risk, but it's like how much of a risk are we putting in here? So we're going to think about that a little bit more. Okay, next. Caretaker. The mausoleum. So we've got the mausoleum. This is number 2. Bum, bum, bum. And number 2, mausoleum. Sometimes the monsters win. Yes, I'm aware, but we don't want to stack it. If we stack it so that the monsters are going to win every single time, because the entire party is going to be burned alive, it's probably, as I said, not a very good adventure. Tower is the final resting mausoleum. Okay, let's do that. I like that. That's actually quite clever, the way that you've structured that. We're going to actually do this a little different, I think. Mausoleum. Tower. Okay. So this... two-story tower is the final resting place of the hero depicted by the statue. A place that a place that people pilgrimage to. People journey, that people visit as part of their pilgrimage. I think that's better. Okay, got it. That's got that nailed down. I think that's what you were trying to say. The first floor being the first floor is a place to pay respects, and the second floor is the caretaker's living quarters. Okay, I think caretakers. Okay, good, nice, pretty good. Like that. Nice job. Well done. 23 is the loo. No, 23 is not the loo. 23 is the common area. Remember, I moved it. 23 is the common area. Caretaker of the mausoleum statue has been replaced by an acolyte who tries to hide the way down. Fair enough. Yes. Let's do that. We can do that. We'll add that in. No problems. So, paste. The caretaker of the mausoleum and statue has been replaced by an acolyte who tries to hide the way down. For sure. Absolutely. Like it. Nice job. Well done. So, maybe. I don't know. No, you don't have to be. You can't see it because I haven't shown you guys the document. So what I will do is I will do another quick flash at the adventure that's so far filled out in terms of locations and so forth, so you can sort of see. And then I will give you an update and we'll continue on. So this should be giving you, yes it is. Okay, so don't worry about that stuff yet. So we've got area 1 is the champion statue. I'm going to finish off the secret door myself. That's right, I got that under control. 2, the mausoleum tower, which we've got sorted, which is great. It's a twist on, and it actually makes so much sense. Pale Rider, it's very, very good. 3 is the excavation pit, where they were trying to dig up the ancient complex, but obviously we're digging in the wrong place. I didn't quite get there. 4 is the never-ending apple tree. 5 is the singing bush. 6 is the holding cells. 7 is a storage room, but we don't know what's in that storage room. Nobody's come up with any ideas. 8, we don't know yet, as far as I know. 9 is an escape tunnel. We've marked that down. Okay, it includes a pit trap. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 are still sort of a bit nebulous. We've got ideas around goblins, I think it was. If I'm going to have goblins here, I don't want to have a lot of goblins here. I don't want to have a whole area sort of just, goblins living here in this space and that's it. I almost feel like it's going to have to, because the problem is goblins would interfere with the cultists. I just don't know that. I mean, unless I suppose you could say the goblins are working for the cultists of the clan or whatever that it is. I mean, I suppose we could do something like that. 15 is the poo pile, which is where we've got a bat guano sort of golem that's been created by Meline. Marlene. I think it's Marlene. 16 hasn't been done yet. 17 is the rock trap. And then 18 is the stone bridge, which we're done. 19 is the observatory ledge. 20 is the pit of death with some ghouls. 21 is the well cabin. 22 is not done yet. 23 is the common room for the cultists to sleep, cook, and eat. 24 is not done. 25 is a sacrificial chamber. We're going to throw people off that balcony into 27. 26 is the mud pools where we've got water and heated mud. 27 is the demon shrine, and I've got a bunch of notes here which I'm still trying to work my way through here to figure out what to do with, but I can get rid of this note here. I don't think we need to have that there anymore. I think that's fine. I haven't sort of figured out how to integrate them. So that's what we've currently got in terms of our adventure. And we've got a little bit of time left. So there we go. There's an update. Now you know. And still, I would really, if you are new here and you've never done this before, please just throw your ideas out and we'll see if you'll be surprised. A lot of the ideas that don't go in directly, I often pull them later and sort of make them work later on, and then I put them onto Patreon for those of you who are interested. It's the process that I'm trying to show you. If I can do it with a group of people, you can do it on your own. You know, it's not as hard as you might think. Anyway, let me just do a quick update and an update on the areas that are still incomplete. So rather than, what I want to encourage you to do is, rather than giving me very generic ideas, what you want to do is like this here. I'm going to pick one location and I'm going to do one thing with it. Does that make sense? Do one location, one thing with. Oh my God, he's trying to turn it into sweatshops where the children are mining. I should have guessed that was coming. I mean, pale rider. Cool, blimey. Anyway, let me just update the area list. And we'll see where we're at. So, I believe we've done a fair chunk of it now. Okay, yes, we can update that. So we've got rid of area 7, 6, and 2 is now done. It's area 10 that we need to deal. Area 8, 10 through to 14. 10 through to 14. Oh, I didn't put down 16. Okay, all right, 14. I believe we have dealt with some of the 17 has been done, but we haven't got 16. 22, 24, 22, 24. 22, 24, and I think, did I get it right? God, I hope so. 16. It's series 16 we haven't done. 16, because we did 17, 22. So it's 16. And that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I would suspect we'll get 2 more done and we'll wind up with the last 2 probably not getting done. Or I'll wind up tidying them up later on. And this is kind of normal, people. This is usually what winds up happening. Temple of Doom. We'll grab this idea here. Your Temple of Doom idea is becoming a thing, isn't it? I can see it now. Area 11 to 14. I don't really want to make 11. I don't want to turn it to the sweatshop thing. Whipping the slackers. Course it does. Course it does. All right. Okay, let's go back to where we were. And area 8. There must be something we can do with area 8. because there's stairs above it, and then there's stairs leading down. If I got, where's my little document here that I've got here? Things that we can include. Oh, also too, like we've kind of got like a guard barracks set up anyway. The common room for the cultists is kind of like the guard barracks, right? I mean, if anything, they're probably going to use the things around them to sort of hold things off. I would suggest we look at animals and beasts and creatures. We can certainly use monsters. I mean, there seems to be a prevailing desire to use goblins rather than orcs or bugbears or kobolds or humans or giants or semi-intelligent humanoids. But I would suggest maybe we can use something like, big dogs, a wolf. We could have wolves might be a thing. I don't know about a lion or a bear because it's just too deep, and sharks not going to work. Crocodiles won't really work either here. Going back to Temple of Doom, not going to work. Gorillas, monkeys, cats, no. We're probably going to have to go with something that's less intelligent. I would suggest we use something like snakes are always nice. Ants, flying hornets. That would be, a flying wasp or bee might be quite fun. Spiders and scorpions are always pretty good. If we're dealing with sort of an evil cleric, we can definitely include some undead creatures. I would suggest we can undead just about anything under the sun. You can have an undead minotaur, troll, undead drakes. Obviously, skeletons and zombies are part of the mix, but undead minotaur. I'm pretty sure there's a skeletal minotaur in the monster manual for 5e, right? You can have a sphinx as a guardian or something to keep people out with. You can have slimes and oozes. I would suggest we sort of look at maybe what sort of things can we position there to do that sort of to have that sort of effect, if that makes sense. Anyway, how are we going? Collection room. 10. The collection room. Cultists and 3 bruisers collect whatever the little bat and brats are mining. Okay, I see. You've really fixated on this, haven't you? Ah, dear. We're definitely trying to turn it into a Indiana Jones adventure, aren't we? I can see where we're going with this. Okay. Right. What else? Am I out of time? I am out of time. Okay, so we didn't get quite as far as I had hoped, which does happen. 27 locations is a lot. I found when we do these that when we deal with something like 15 to 20, it's a good number. It's usually fairly doable. And in 2 hours, you can probably fill out most of those locations yourself without having to sort of fret too much. I've taken down your ideas, by the way, if you're wondering. I have. I just haven't completely finished it all out because I ran out of time. Anyway, I knew I was going to run out of time with this one. I was trying to make it smaller and I just couldn't. Just the tile maker didn't allow me to do so. Anyway, this is what we have so far. Obviously, I'm going to have to do a bit more work on it, and I'll obviously add a few more adventure hooks, and then we've got some main features. We'll see how this goes. We've done area 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 is still need to be filled out. That's right. I don't think that's going to be terribly hard to deal with. 8 still established. 10, you've thrown some ideas in there. Pale Rider for 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. I think we're going to wind up with this probably being that there. I think that's going to wind up filling out most of that. 16 hasn't been done, but we've done 9, 15, 17, 16's not done. 18 got done, 19, 20, 21, 22 and 24 didn't get done, but 23, the common room, is there, okay? And then the 25 got sorted out, 26 and 27, and then I've got a bunch of ideas that I've got to try to figure out how to sort of squeeze into these locations. So Not too bad for 2 hours, or roughly under 2 hours, if you ask me. I think that's usually what we generally get done in that time frame. I'm going to two 4-armed undead minotaurs, an 8. You want to put that in 8? Do you? 8. I'm just trying to figure out where 8 is. 8. Oh, okay. I see. Okay. All right. So 8. All right. I'll take your undead minotaurs because I think that's probably a fun thing to include. And you're going to be setting up some sort of defenses. So 2. So we're going to call this the Guardian's platform. And let's drop this in here. I'm going to have to go, people, because it's going to be time for me to go to work. But paste. I'll be doing some work in Discord, I suspect. This is fine. Okay, let's end this poll. Right there. Okay, so have you included a statue in an adventure you made? Yes, 53%. No, 23%. Just watching, 23%. Not sure. Didn't have anybody say anything about that. Poll, 13 people. Interesting. Okay, so this is what we were working on this week. I'll try to get it finished and up onto Patreon. If I can't, and it takes a little bit longer, just bear with me, okay? Because this was the villain Lair, and we sort of haven't established exactly all the information around the villain Lair, that's all right, that's fine. But next week we're going back to castles. And we've kind of done castles a couple of times now, okay? I would say we've done castles at least once, and we're going to return to castles because we need to do that. But I think a castle where we get an opportunity to deal with either infiltrating or laying siege to it, or exploring it because it's a ruined castle or something like that, or just exploring it because we think it's ruined, or an old castle. I think that's probably what we're going to aim for, but you guys will let me know in Discord and in the chat whether that's the sort of thing you like the idea of doing. It's all cool. I don't mind. In the end, it'll all wash out. We're going to get to everything eventually. It's only a matter of time. We will run out of things we can cover. Anyway, I want to thank you, everybody, for watching and listening today and taking part. I do appreciate that you show up to these live streams. I hope you had a good time. I hope it provided you with some ideas of your own that you can use in your games, even if it winds up just being copying and pasting from the chat into your own documents if you don't want to just pull it off Patreon. I totally get it. I understand. It's all right. Okay. And I want to thank all of my patrons who support me on Patreon so I can keep doing this. And I will keep putting them up onto Patreon as soon as I can. I will point out that as soon as we go into the new month, there will be a new Star Wars adventure too. And that is, those are complete. They aren't first drafts. They are complete. They're going up onto Patreon probably in a week's time. It's part of the new month. I do one every month, okay? I also want to thank everybody who's been in the answering the poll. Thank you for doing so. And those of you in the chat providing your ideas. Pale Rider, great ideas. Really appreciate your suggestions. Fred Huber, awesome. Acer, thank you for putting in your feedback. And I encourage you to, if you haven't been putting in your feedback and suggesting some ideas, please do so. Shy X, thanks for hanging out. Derp. Who else is there that I may have missed that has been commenting in the chat that I needed to sort of shout out to? I think that's everybody. I think most of the work was done by Pale Rider and Fred Huber today. I would say there's a lot of work has been done by them. But no, that was great. Thank you very much. And look, wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. Happy Easter. I hope that all of you are having a good time and celebrating, you know, a different, whether you're Christian or not, you're celebrating in some way with the people that you are around. Okay? Until next time, keep rolling those 20s.